Hi, thank you for joining me today. Today I'm taking you all the way back to 1994 and the gigs that I went to. My name's Ricky and welcome to the channel Gig in 60 Seconds. So what happened in 1994, I hear you say? Well, in the US, O.J. Simpson got arrested for the murder of his wife, and also Jeffrey Dahmer, the infamous serial killer, and a good Netflix documentary, by the way. He got killed by a fellow inmate, Chris Scarver, at the time. In the UK, the Channel Tunnel opened. That was the longest underground tunnel at the time of 23 miles between Folkestone and Calais. Music-wise, there was releases for several bands. Some of the ones that stick out for me were The Almighty with Crank, and Korn released the album Korn. Machine Head had Burn My Eyes. Nirvana had the brilliant MTV Unplugged in New York album. And Pantera had Far Beyond Driven. In the movie world, you had films like Natural Born Killers, Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, and The Crow. So music-wise in the UK, the biggest selling single of 1994 was Love Is All Around by Scotland's own Wet Wet Wet. It sold 1.28 million copies and it stayed at the album for it was about 13 weeks or something. It was nearly as long as January. Metal-wise, I think the biggest selling single was Always by Bon Jovi. So there you go, that's hopefully jogged your memory a bit in 1994. So in 1993 I went and saw two bands, but in 1994 I've upped it and I've went to three different concerts. I'd only been 17 and I'd been 18 until November that year. So the first gig of the year was the Wildhearts. And that was at the garage, so obviously I'd seen them the year before supporting The Almighty, and that's when I first noticed them, thought they were brilliant, and bought the album Earth versus the Wildhearts, and I bought the back album of Don't Be Happy, Just Worry. So this was great, going to see them for the first time as the sort of headline band, and as I say, I have seen them 17 or 18 times now, so that was a really good gig. Just, I think the Wildhearts are such an underrated band. I really think that Ginger is so talented as a writer. I know there's been various incarnations of the band over the years, but I mean, he is the soul and the lifeblood of that band, I think. So yeah, a good gig. Obviously it was playing songs mainly from Earth versus Wildhearts and Don't Be Happy, Just Worry. So great sing-along night and a great gig. Next up was the Crash Test Dummies, and that was at the Barras. So I don't know why I went to this one, to be honest. Like, I only knew the one song, which was the song that was the was. You might know it, you might not know it. I can't really remember much about the gig at all, apart from it was busy, and I think everybody was just waiting on that one song. That was the highlight of that night. I can't really remember much else about the gig. And never really heard much about the band. I did look them up. They didn't play until like 2000 in the 2020s or something again in Glasgow. Now the last gig I went to was The Almighty, and that was at the end of November, just after my birthday. And that was for the Crank album. It had just been released, and I got this lovely, all over, quite loud t-shirt out of HMV at the time for £15. Subsequently it got given away to charity, I think, a few years ago, and then I ended up buying this last year off of a guy on eBay from Poland for about 75 quid because I wanted the t-shirt back. Who knows, I might even buy the same t-shirt. But anyway, that was a brilliant album. I remember learning to drive and playing that in the car. Just really really loud, really aggressive. Some great songs on it, like Wrench and Ultraviolet and Welcome to Defiance, Jonestown Mind. So I'm pretty sure I was at the concert myself, down the front, getting hot and sweaty with it, jumping about. Played a lot of songs off of Soul Destruction and Power Tripping as well. So yeah, great gig, and seen the Almighty, I don't know, 8 or 9 times now. So that was my gigs of 1994. So let me know in the comments if you were at any of these gigs. If you weren't, what bands did you see in 1994 and what stood out for you? Thanks for watching. Till next time, have a good day.